You guys good back there?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, all right. We're glad to be back home for the last game. It'll be senior day, last home game, a chance to get bowl eligible. Really, that's what's on our mind. Obviously, that was a tough loss. It was the 5th game. That was 3 points or less decided. We were 2-3 with that. But right now, we're putting all that behind us, and it's about this week. It's a one-game season, is what we told our players. Playing a Houston team that had similar close games. I think they had 4 games by 3 points or less. So we're going to have to play good football and a chance to be bowl eligible. Their quarterback's a dual threat guy. He throws it, he can run it. Defensively, they do a lot of different things. At times, they played well. We're expecting their best, and we need to play good football to win the game. Questions?
It's also senior day on Saturday amid everything else. Fight to get eligible. What will this group of guys mean to you? Obviously, there's players like John Rice Plumlee playing their final games of eligibility, Jason Johnson. What will this class mean to you?
Yeah, senior day is always really special. For me as a head coach, all the guys that have laid the foundation and have done so many things, for our program and everything that goes with it. So that's always a really special thing. It's also a special thing for them and their families. And then just the appreciation from the fans of what these guys done for our program. You always have that extra, want to send these guys out on a positive note. And I told our younger guys that, last night, the team meeting, that when they move up and they're up at the front and it's their last go around, those are memories that, these guys will have, forever. And so that was our message to our team. And I'm confident that we'll rebound and we'll have a good week of practice and get ready to go.
Gosh, you mentioned this being a one-game season. Essentially, how do you kind of look at things this week? I mean, what's the focus and trying to make sure that you get that one game?
Yeah, the focus is having the ability to put another tough loss behind us. We've done that this year. We've had quite a few of them. I think everybody knows that. But these guys have rebounded every time, and just by their attention in our meetings last night and everything, I'm confident they'll do that. Playing for these seniors, playing for a chance to go to a bowl, last home game, they'll be motivated.
What do you think the legacy is of this senior class?
There's a lot of good things that's happened that a lot of these guys have been with me since I got here. A lot of these guys transferred in, after the first year. A lot of good memories, a lot of tough things they had to overcome and been resilient, and just real proud of them, for the things they've done for this program.
You mentioned talking about putting kind of some of the tough losses behind you guys on a week-to-week basis. How do you go about doing that? And obviously there's been a lot of those this year, but what did they learn from the process?
Well, I think you learn life lessons through football. It's what I always believed, and being able to rebound. This team has done that. The leadership, 2 of the guys is going to talk to you in a minute, has been a big part of that. Being able to rebound and rally the younger guys. It's always tough on younger guys, and they're still growing and still learning and everything. But we got great leadership that is stuck together. There's been no finger pointing and guys not playing and sitting out and all. Guys are playing everything for their teammates, and that's a lot about their leadership.
What pops most on the film about Donovan Smith, Houston's quarterback?
He is a dual threat guy. He can make plays with his feet. Big guy. They throw it. So they'll have a lot of called quarterback runs, I feel like. But at the same time, and they like to push the ball down the field. And I think he's a very solid quarterback.
Coach, BYU plays Oklahoma State. At Oklahoma State, you get Houston here. You're the only 2 teams out of the newcomers that can become bowl eligible. Is that something this senior class can?
Yeah, I think so. We're not too worried about anybody else. Just trying to send these guys off on a positive note at home for our home crowd that's been there. We really appreciate our home crowd. I know it's Thanksgiving. Hope we have a great crowd, great turnout, and get bowl eligible and get these seniors one more game for us, and then keep our bowl streak going.
What does John Rice Plumlee mean to you in this program, I believe, these last 2 years?
Yeah, you look, he's had ups and downs, but he has been there since day one for his teammates, for our program. Like I said earlier, it would have been real easy. He had a pretty good injury. It would have been real easy for a quarterback to say, hey, I'm going to sit out. this year. Not only did he do that, he came back probably earlier than he should, and he's a true leader. He is our team leader. There's no doubt. And he's done a lot for our program, and if you look at his record, when he starts games and finishes games, he's been really good. He's had a lot of injuries and tough things not go his way, but he's a great competitor, and he's as good a team guy as I've ever coached.
Coach, with everything that has gone on in this season, with the winning streaks, the losing streaks, the first year in the Big 12, being able to get bowl eligible at this point in the year, would that make it a successful first year in the Big 12?
You know, I think getting bowl eligible would be a great shot in the arm, is what it would be. I mean, we've had some growing pains and lost some tough ones, close ones. I think everybody knows that, but this would be a really good thing for not just for the senior class, but for our program. You know, going into next year with some momentum, that's always really important.
Gus, when you look at going back and looking at the game against Texas Tech, what were some of the areas that you guys feel like you really need to improve on this week, this final week, to get ready to beat Houston?
You know, when you look back, missed opportunities. You know, we've said that before. I think that's coaching. We got to do a better job coaching our guys. You know, the penalties, it was a little uncharacteristic since halfway point. We've been better with the penalties. We had some huge ones. You know, and then obviously, you know, at the end, you know, the blocked extra point, we hadn't had a kick blocked in a long time, and that was, the timing of that was tough. But, you know, our guys, we got to find a way. That's in the rearview mirror now. We got to find a way to move forward. And it's a one-game season, like I said earlier.
You talked about how important bowl eligibility was for kind of like celebrating this group and giving seniors one more game, especially, you know, getting ready for year 2 in the Big 12. How important is it to get to bowl eligibility, get those extra practices?
Yeah, I think it's very important in the big picture, like you just said, not just momentum for your program, but you get those extra practices. So, you know, it's a big deal.
We've talked about the rotation of the interior offensive line, kind of the guards, the centers. How has Amari Kite stepped in at right tackle and stabilized things? And what do you like most about what he's brought to your starting line?
Yeah, he's done a really good job. You know, our 2 tackles have been really the consistent thing, you know, since, you know, we moved Kite to starting right tackle. That's been the consistent. Inside, it's been musical chairs. That's always, you know, a challenge. That was our 4th center. I think I said that before. I mean, never had that. Guards, we had new guards, you know, again, too. So, but our guys have, you know, we said that we had good quality depth at the first year in the offensive line. It has showed. That is the good thing. It's just, you know, having those 5 guys and building something, you know, that's always best case.
I know it's senior day with the guys out of eligibility, but it could be the last game for other players. There's
Right.
players that have pro potential. When do those discussions usually take place? I know there's some skill players on offense that we all kind of wonder about. If
Yeah. You know, as far as the formal conversations, it'll be after this last game. You know, the informal conversations, but I just really, from our player standpoint, coach's standpoint, put everything we have into this last game, and we'll have those conversations. They're set up, ready to go, and we'll see what happens.
You talked about the mistakes against Texas Tech. It came a week after a dominating performance against Oklahoma State. What do you attribute the inconsistency across the season?
You know, like I said, I mean, when you lose close games, you know, always take it back to coaching. That's my responsibility. You know, as far as winning close games. I mean, when you lose close games, we got to do a better job coaching our guys on those details that it takes to win a game.
How is Colton Boomer doing? Obviously, he shoots off his wheels on that fake, but he's doing kickoffs, he's doing field goals. Is he 100%?
Yeah, you know, I think he is, but, you know, this is his first year to kick off. You know, and I've had experience with other kickers, really talented kickers like him, and the first year that somebody does do both, you know, you worry about their leg and everything that goes with it. But, you know, he's done a really good job for us. I mean, you know, he hadn't missed very many in his career now. So, I mean, he won the Boise State game for us, so we have a lot of confidence in him now. But, you know, this is the first year that he's doing dual roles, and so there's usually a learning experience that goes with that. You know, I wish we had done a better job protecting on the extra point. I think that would help, but you know, we're tickled to death he's our kicker, and we still feel like he's one of the best in the country.
Kind of going off that a little bit, how do you keep Colton's, you know, positivity up? I mean, you're obviously coming off, you know, the missed field goal, and then you mentioned the extra block. You know, I mean, how do you kind of keep his?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a really good competitor. He's not your normal field goal kicker. Like, he's a great competitor. I think he's mentally tough. I I mean, he'll be ready to go this week. There's no doubt in my mind. And, you know, like I said, I mean, he hadn't missed very many since he's been here. You know, and so, you know, there's one that hit the upright. He'll rebound, and I'm confident of that.
Brandon mentioned the idea of talking to players about maybe pro eligibility. Does that also happen as far as transfer portal sort of things? And do those conversations maybe start earlier?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we'll have those conversations too. There's been some informal things, but, you know, we won't have those formal until we get through with this last game and see where everything's at.
You had the 5 conference games on the road. You had Boise on the road. Has it been a grind looking back on the road season? Is that what you expected, or just not having gone through it? How would you?
You know, I think you expect. I mean, we had more travel miles than any team in college football. 6 real road games. I mean, obviously, you know that. You know, I'll kind of after the season kind of evaluate big picture. But I mean, yeah, we knew it was going to be a challenge. Yeah, it was a real challenge. Yes, and there's 6 real road games. You know, it's not like. You know, you're going to go on a road and play a cupcake. Or these are real road games, and road games we knew we were going to have to win close games. If you remember that, you know, we worked hard on end of the game scenarios, and like I said, when you have 5 games decided about 3 points or less, and you're 2 and 3, it goes back to coaching. We got to do a better job, you know, helping our guys finish these situations, and that's really what's been frustrating. But like I said earlier, we're putting that right over here in the back pocket. We're focused on this one. And Houston is a team that we're going to have to play well against. I mean, they've been in most of their games. They've had 4 points, 4 games decided by that, you know, that 3 points or less too. So that's just focused on Houston and doing everything we can to win this game.
When you look at the Houston defense, what opportunities do you see for your offense?
Well, I mean, they do some odd fronts, some bears, some even. They'll play some 2-mic. They'll play some man. I mean, they do a lot of different things. So we just got to, you know, be able to execute and not turn the ball over. You know, like I said, I think that's really the big thing. You look back at the games we hadn't turned the ball over. We played really good, so we'll have to continue to do that.
Kind of like when you guys faced Cincinnati. Houston's a team that came with you from the AAC. Obviously, they were in the other division, but is there some institutional knowledge of how they play? You know, having seen.
Well, I mean, we hadn't played him since I've been here, and I've never coached against him. I mean, I've watched him from afar, and I mean, he's really good at what he does. There's no doubt about that. So, but this is our first time, you know, my first time coaching against him.
Thanksgiving obviously on Thursday. What is the team schedule like on that day? Will you celebrate with the team?
Yeah, we will. We'll have a Wednesday after practice. You know, we'll have our families and our players, and we'll do a little Thanksgiving celebration with that. Thursday morning, we'll have our same Thursday routine. We practice in the morning. We'll let our guys go home and whoever, and then our coaches will wrap up our stuff and let our coaches go home and celebrate with their you know, with their families. And then Friday we'll get up and it'll be our same routine. And you know, we have an early game on Saturday, which, you know, obviously when you're at home, and if you're early game, that usually is good that you don't have to travel early. So we'll get up early Saturday and be ready to play.
What are you most thankful for?
I'm thankful that I get to coach a lot of unbelievable, outstanding young men. I'm thankful for my family, and I'm thankful for really the health of my family. You know, that's what I'm thankful for.
Well said.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris.